It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
It is Tuesday, November the 19th. Remember when Led Zeppelin released their last studio album, In Through the Outdoor, and the critics were like, oh, they suck now. They're over. They've lost the magic. I remember that. And I remember thinking, I don't know, it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great, yeah.
Yeah, go figure. Nice swing, John Bonham. Thank you for that. That song legitimately puts me in this mood every time I hear it. This mood right here. Oh, man. God, listen to that. How deep is my man's pocket? Come on. Woo! All right, I'm excited. It's Tuesday morning. Let's get you right into your top 5 at 6. On we go. Number 5. Okay, Thanksgiving trends. The stories are coming in. What is Thanksgiving 2024 going to be all about? Well, apparently, at least according to Big Ham, the Honey Baked Ham Company is letting us know ham is on the menu this year.
When is it not?
Exactly. Well, 50% of people say they prefer ham over turkey, and 50% of people are right.
Really?
Well,
The Gormans have been doing ham in place of turkey for a while now.
Yeah, in place of turkey. Yeah, Zeps do both. I mean, a family that picks one is just cheating themselves. Why the hell would you only have one?
Well,
it's Thanksgiving. We're overdoing it.
Okay, all right. There's a turkey breast, but there's not a full bird. For clarity, we'll just buy the breast and use that. We get a ham and a turkey breast. We don't buy the whole bird anymore. The whole bird, that's the 2000-aughts for us. And I'll tell you why.
What do you throw away the next week?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because neither of our kids ever liked turkey. They're just always going for more ham. They'd have a bite of turkey and go, eh. And then at some point it dawned on me and Rosemary. We're like, yeah, really, what's the big deal? Just get a little turkey breast for us. We have a few bites. But it's really all about everything else.
Symbolic.
You guys ever buy a butterball?
Yeah, we've done a butterball, and it's fine. But to your point, you just end up with so much of it, and then you got to throw it away. And then I feel bad not giving a bone to Chauncey. You know, just the guilt it inspires. So, but here's something else. 42% of Americans plan on hosting. Well, that's a lot. That 42. I would have thought it was like 30% because everybody has extra people over.
Right.
So what does that mean?
Maybe we're flying solo this year.
I guess so.
Ditching the family and just hanging out and watching the Lions game.
Let's just cancel Thanksgiving.
I still can't get around. I still can't come around to the fact that the Lions are favored to win a Thanksgiving game. It's just weird the last few years.
Yeah, I'm not holding my. But like, if they lose another one, it's probably going to be that one.
Family
there
tradition.
You go.
My folks are both from Detroit, so we always. I mean, everybody watches the Lions on Thanksgiving, but in the Gorman household, it actually did matter when I was a kid, and it's just part of the tradition. Oh man, they're just getting their asses kicked. Is that dinner ready yet? Anyway, I guess that's not going to be the case this year. Number 4 in your top 5 and 6. Last night, Monday Night Football. Don't know if anybody took the time to watch. The Cowboys suck more. Oh, boy, a few things put me in a better mood than watching Jerry Jones realize it's all been for naught. Yes, the bottom line is fine, but his team sucks.
I do like a good Dallas tanking a season. I mean, I do rather prefer like last year when they lose big and they should have won.
Yeah.
I like a big, huge letdown at the end of the year, but this is nice. This has been fun.
Oh, well, the best part about it was turning that game on and hearing the Texans fans dominating. That stadium was well over 50% red and blue last night, and I loved it. But, of course, the big story happened before kickoff. Workers were trying to open the roof before the game. Dallas has one of those stadiums that, you know, the roof can open up, and they hadn't used it in a couple years. Oh, and they were opening this giant roof to say, let's let the fresh air in, and a fairly significantly large piece of sheet metal just fell to the turf.
Yeah.
Picked up some steam at the right angle. That could have cut someone in half, is the way it looked to me on the footage. Nobody was hurt, but the team management then went, just shut that roof. Never mind. We're not doing that. Anytime anything goes wrong with Jerry Jones, it just puts me in a better mood. My schadenfreude is through the roof right now.
I think they were aiming for Stroud.
It's through the roof that wouldn't open safely. Sorry, Zepp. What was that?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, fair enough. It's been over 2 years since they opened that roof. I don't think they're going to open it again. They'll open it again once Jerry finally departs this realm and they have to let the stench out. Sorry, I just can't stand him. Number 3 on your top 5 at 6. Has anybody here already put up their Christmas decorations, Tone?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes, Rachel
Narcissist!
I've been saying that to her. I'm going to send her that article.
You're so self-involved.
She went and did it this weekend.
Ryder, Christmas decorations
No,
up?
and we generally don't do it. The house is kind of tiny. There's not a lot of room for them.
Oh, well, then you're totally well-adjusted. Zep, what's going on with you? Christmas lights up?
I'm wearing my Christmas jock right now.
Narcissist!
I would when I did do decorations. They just stayed up year-round. I would unplug them,
There you go.
On December 26th or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not crawling up and down every year.
No, big fan of Christmas lights year-round for sure, as I am along with you. A group of psychologists interviewed asked about, what do you think of these people who put Christmas decorations up like way early in the season? And the word came in, narcissist! Decorating can reveal, quote, concealed emotions and subconscious behavioral tendencies, including narcissistic personality disorder. People are far more self-centered, and they derive a sense of high satisfaction from being the center of attention, from being praised and applauded. And it makes sense that one of the ways people would take advantage of that or seek that out and try to get it is to say, look at my Christmas decorations. They're incredible. I put them up early. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they also went on to say, of course, decorating early could also simply be filling a void, making you feel happy when you're trying to paint that picture-perfect family motif that belies a deep sense of ennui underneath.
Oh, way to take away the joy.
Ennui was my word, not the psychologist. I just love that.
We're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye.
Christmas decorations. It's everything with me and Rosemary. It's like, well, once the kids kind of got over it, we didn't insist. No, come on, guys, we're decorating the tree. The last 6-7 years, we just put it up, and they come in, and they go, oh, you put the tree up, cool. Because they're. But now, as they get older, it does come back around. It's funny. People told us. People always say, teen years, just they're a write-off, but then they come back around, and over the last couple of years, there was a little bit more of like, well, when's the tree going up? And do you guys
when you put it up,
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
bring it over to the house and put it up? Yeah, your turn.
Do this. Thank you very much for that. Well, let's talk more about cleanup. We'll happily set the tree up, but right around January 2nd, I'm going to need your ass for about 3 hours because we're getting all this crap back into the storage.
Poof, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Gadoosh. So anyway, all you guys who've already done your decorations, you're narcissist. Number 2 on your top 5 at 6, the Albany Area Secondary School in central Minnesota. Wow, this is an odd one. A student questionnaire for freshmen went out. It was intended to be part of a lesson on communication. But here's an interesting thing that they asked students to weigh in on. I'm just going to read this to you verbatim. This is, again, all in the efforts to help kids learn how to more effectively communicate. It's like a speculative. Hey, if this happened, how would you handle it? One of those. Again, freshman in high school. Here's the question. You want your partner to be more adventurous in the bedroom. How do you communicate your desire? When I was in 9th grade, if a teacher had handed that to me, I would have said, excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom. That's all it would have taken. Here are your options. Handcuff them to the bed and take matters into your own hands.
Yeah.
Or you don't. It's too awkward to talk about. Or tell them you love your sex life but have some ideas how to spice things up. Again, 9th graders.
Yeah, it's Midwest. We go for number 2. Oh, you're talking about age inappropriate.
I am.
But
It's a
ninth
little
graders,
early.
ninth graders have already seen anal on their phone.
Well, I agree with that, but it's odd that they. But then, if that's the case, then you know that that's something you never discuss. You simply wait till you're both drunk enough.
Yes.
The student attendant, Albany Area School Superintendent, said this was a lesson on different communication styles. And yes, obviously that question was inappropriate. The presentation was created, and we clearly just overlooked that one. So they're just sourcing the material from some other place, and they didn't
Yeah.
They didn't get into the fine print and actually read the material they were then passing on to 14-year-olds.
Outstanding. I don't even know what to say.
It's just
boneheads.
It really, yeah. But trust me, the more boneheads than you can imagine once they read that question. How about a little morning shout out to our friends in Cambridge? Lovely part of the world.
Oh, yeah, it is. Good old Cambridge, right up 65 there. Good morning. Made a home there for a little while. I liked Cambridge.
Yeah.
Damn good cafes and
Nice.
a good hang. I liked it.
Good morning to everybody listening in Cambridge. You know what to do. All right, number one on your top 5 at 6. As you may have heard, there's a new movie coming up about Bob Dylan called A Complete Unknown, and they've remastered some old Bob Dylan tracks. He sounds better than ever.
God,
He
I
said-
used to host a karaoke night at Blondie's up in Brooklyn Park, and
Yes.
there was a couple people who would do Dylan every time. It was the most excruciating experience of my life.
Really?
No kidding. Timothy Chalamet said he'd been working on this part for 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, he said he always knew that he was going to play Bob Dylan in a movie, always wanted to play Bob Dylan in a movie, and has been training himself for it for the last 10 years.
Man,
I just read that.
the Babe Ruth of Gen Z actors. Kid called his own shot.
Yeah.
Right?
Digging that. All right, there is your top 5 at 6. What happens when you're manning the drive-thru and you got to take a leak? Oh, we'll tell you. Hang on tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
This is the KQ Morning Show. That was the Rolling Stones' Start Me Up. A song they recorded in 1977 but wasn't released until 1981. A song that they recorded as a reggae tune. They did 70-plus takes as a reggae song. And right in the middle of that, around number 38, they just counted it in with a straight beat once and forgot all about it. And 3 years later, Keith was digging through his files. And he goes, "Oh, what's that?" And he heard it and went, "Oh, my God, that's great." They played it one time, and 4 years later went, "Hey, that's going to be a huge hit single all around the world." It's good to be the Rolling Stones. It's like you dig into your pocket and you find $1,000 bill.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, but just remember, you are the Rolling Stones and not the Wailers. So, don't try that reggae thing.
That's a very good point right there. I often find myself thinking about things like, say this, and then I go find the answer. How do astronauts pee? You know, like how do they do? You got all that gear on. You're up there. There must be some sort of system, or a pilot on an airplane. Just when you look at the cockpit of most planes, it's so crammed in there. Just to get out and go find. I'd just like. It's not even worth the time. If I'm flying a plane, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just put a thing down my leg. And anyway, and sometimes I think to myself, how does that guy working the night shift at McDonald's taking my order at the drive-thru? What does he do when he has to go to the bathroom? A woman went through a McDonald's drive-thru and she found out her answer. And of course, she recorded it for our benefit.
I'm in the bathroom.
You're in the
So we
bathroom?
only doing it. Yes, I'm the one that's taking the orders, but I'm in the bathroom, so we only going to do DoorDash and Uber Eats.
You're admitting to a customer. You're in the bathroom doing what?
I'm in the bathroom. We're only doing DoorDash and Uber Eats at the moment. From you had to wait 10 minutes, I have to pee.
You're telling a customer through the freaking headphone set that you're in
Okay,
the
we're
toilet.
not taking orders at the moment, ma'am. I'm in the
Because you're on
bathroom.
the toilet?
I have to pee. How can I take an order if I'm in the bathroom?
Honestly, this is a bit much for me.
I'm in the bathroom. I'm not entitled to go to the bathroom because you want a small fry?
Well,
That's
I mean,
great.
that's how
the
I
best
feel
part.
about it when I'm at the drive-thru. I feel like he sounded like a young man. I'm closing in on 59 here,
Yeah,
and he needs 10 minutes to pee.
That's what my thought was. Dude, you ain't taking a leak for 10 minutes. You got something else going on in there. Can you imagine being at the drive-thru and they're like, yeah, we're actually going to, give me your order, but it's going to come to you via Uber Eats.
Yeah.
What in the hell?
Just say I need a minute. We'll
Just
be with you in a minute.
Just say, I'm sorry. I just killed my manager. I got a bit of a mess.
Clean up.
Don't tell me you need 10 minutes to pee. Just say you snapped and your manager's head is in the fryer.
Yeah. Do what the rest of them do. This happened to me recently. And don't say anything. Just let me sit there with all the lights on and everything for for about 8 minutes, and then I'm like, well, all right, I'm going to bail. And of course, it was probably a minute because we all know I'm so impatient. And that's why I'm at a fast food drive-thru. But anyway, yeah, and then I start to drive away, and as I go past the window, there's someone standing there with a headset, so I stop, and there's that awkward, oh, yeah, no, I'm back. Okay, well, what I would like is, oh, no, you have to drive back around. I'm like, okay,
bummer.
all right, I'm out, I'm by, I'm checking out. Suddenly I've lost my app. But anyway, yeah. What the hell was all that about?
Dude, there's a lot of ways to handle that beyond saying, but I got to go to the bathroom. I can't have a pee just because you need a small fry.
I'm in the bathroom.
I'm in the bathroom.
You're in the
So we only
bathroom.
doing it. Yes, I'm the one that's taking the orders, but I'm in the bathroom, so we only gonna do DoorDash and Uber Eats.
You're admitting to a customer. You're in the bathroom doing what?
I'm in the bathroom. I'm not entitled to go to the bathroom because you want a small fry.
Oh, man.
You don't have to give
Love it.
details. You're doing what?
Absolutely love it.
Is there anyone else working at that McDonald's?
No, clearly not. No, he killed them all. I'm telling you, there's more to this story. All right, let's look back.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh, I'll tell you what's up. A little sports and music history. On this day in 1981, the Los Angeles Lakers fired their coach, Paul Westhead, a year and a half after he led them to an NBA title. The reason? Magic Johnson demanded a trade, and Lakers owner Jerry Buss went, wait, hold on, what? And Magic Johnson said, I don't like the coach. It feels like we have jobs now. No high fives, no camaraderie. We're not having any fun. It just sucks now. And Jerry Buss went, well, then let's get you a new coach. And Magic Johnson was destroyed in the media for this. They brought in Pat Riley and then were the dominant team for the next decade. But hey, in the moment, this was like the epic, oh my God, these spoiled, pampered athletes think they can fire their coach. Lakers fans booed Magic at home for a month.
Seriously.
His star fell so sharply. And then in June, they won the title again with Pat Riley and started that whole streak, and everybody forgot about it because that's what we do. For the record, Paul Westhead went on to coach in Chicago and Denver and sucked at both places. So Magic was right. On this day in 2004, NBA history was made as Pacers forward Ron Artest, now known as who knows what, Meta World Peace for a while. Last I heard, I think his name is Panda Bear. Ron Artest challenged the entire city of Detroit to a fist fight. He charged into the stands after some knucklehead fans challenged him. And a lesson was learned by them, which is don't challenge professional athletes to a fight. And he was suspended 73 games for charging into the stands. Bill Burr actually had the most appropriate take on the entire thing.
Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know, my favorite moment of the last year was in sports, that Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be. I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk. You started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk. You're like, you suck, buddy. You're a piece of shit. And they're always calling him up. Come on up here. No, come on up here. Well, they came up there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I wish.
That's what
I wish.
It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I wish a
Every second.
Oh, boy.
I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something.
It's great.
Just stood there. He's like trying to...
That's awesome. It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
You know, Tuesday, the run of the week, we don't have enough time for fun. It's time for unfun. Let's get to it.
Oh, I was just trying to get my facts straight. Unfun.
Unfun.
Not fun.
Not fun, not fun.
Entirely unfun.
The KQ Morning Show presents
Unfun.
Facts. Let's begin, shall we? Shall we?
Yeah, we shall. Let's not have fun for a while. How about this? This is an unfun fact. The FBI estimates that right now there are at least 500 truckers, long-haul truckers, 18-wheelers, truckers with torture and or murder chambers in their trucks, freely roaming around the country.
They determine that.
God, I hope they make sweet love to you before they kill you. I mean, what the? All right.
You know, and I've always had such respect for truckers. As I told you, my mom raised us saying, honey, he's at work. Give him plenty of space. Now, I feel like I need to, make some citizens' arrests.
Good luck with all that, Steve.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Confront them right there in the lots at the truck stops. Hey, mister, you got a torture murder chamber in there?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'd be way more cool. Like, hey, man, nice wheels. Can I look in the back? It'd be that kind of thing. Okay, here's another unfun fact, and boy, this one's real unfun. It is physically possible, and there are cases where people have become so constipated,
oh boy,
that their stool backs up all the way up into their digestive tract, and they vomit.
Poop?
Oh, comes out north instead of south.
Yeah, that's physically possible and documented that it has happened.
All right, Mrs. Guthmiller in second grade, when I suggested that, could you, if you didn't poop, would I poop? And she made me go stand in a corner or something. I know I couldn't go out to recess. I had to write a paper. I'm just saying, Mrs. Guthmiller, take that.
She should have marked you for science, lab coat. Get that kid in the lab. He's got a scientific mind. I mean, I can remember there have been times, you get like a stomach bug or whatever it is, food poisoning. I understand what it's like for there to be two lines, no waiting. Where you're losing weight from two sources at once. I've been there. You're sitting and then you're turning around and squatting and then you're backing and forthing it. I know that, but this one, boy, there's nothing less fun in my opinion than throwing up your own crap. Just gonna say that.
I feel like a lot of other things would happen before it got to the puking stage, but yeah, all right.
One of the many side effects, here's an unfun fact, of the fact that the planet is heating up, regardless of what you think the cause is, there's no getting around the fact that we're heating up. Spiders, across the realm of the arachnid world, spiders are slowly getting bigger.
What about my penis?
They're benefiting. Well, that summer penis is a real thing, but winter penis is upon us.
Winter wiener. Yeah, I got a little winter wiener going. I was hoping some global warming, but no, more oxygen isn't going to make it bigger. All right.
It's like the Game of Thrones. Winter penis isn't coming. Wasn't that the slogan?
Yeah, I think it is.
That's what I thought. Something like that.
It's going to be hard.
I knew it was something like that. Here's an unfun fact. Sometimes when an elderly person falls and they end up with a broken hip, which you hear about all the time, it's actually the hip breaking that causes the fall.
I'm falling.
No, it just snaps.
That's upsetting. That's truly unfun. And now I have to think back to everybody I know who's fallen and broken their hip and feel even worse for them knowing, oh no, they didn't break it on the fall. They possibly, it just broke as they were standing there thinking about, should I add more creamer to my coffee?
I saw my buddy Pete on crutches. Hey man, what happened? Tore my meniscus. Oh man, what were you doing? Were you out on the dirt bike again? No, he was holding his grandchild and stood up too fast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, tore his meniscus. I'm like, just tell people you're on a frickin' dirt bike, would you?
Here's an unfun fact. According to the American Society for Microbiology, again, where Mrs. Guthmiller should have sent yous up when you were doing all that research.
Yeah.
The air you breathe in a train station, the air you breathe at a popular crowded train station could contain as much as 15% human skin. The particles in your skin. Apparently, they really like train stations.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know. When was the last? I'm trying to think of the last time I stood at a train station on vacation in Europe, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Been thinking, Rosemary and I have been thinking about that St. Paul to Chicago train just for a weekend, do it down there. And every time I realize I can drive faster than I can take the train, I'm like, well, then why would I do that?
Yeah.
Just to arrive drunk and then have to go to sleep? What's the point?
Just think of all those trees you would see.
That's very true.
Lots and lots of trees.
A lot of trees, especially in Wisconsin. Boy.
Yeah.
Boy, there's some trees over there.
Kind of overdoing it.
Speaking of all the human skin you're breathing at train stations, over half of our body isn't actually human. There are more cells. There are more cells in your body that belong to other things like bacteria, fungi, viruses, and parasites than actual human cells. Now, some of these are beneficial, some are harmful, and most are just along for the ride.
Kind of like me.
Yeah. Well, every time I'm questioning your humanity, that's why.
Just I'm bacteria. I'm fungi, Steve, along for the ride.
Oh, Zepp, that dude's like half mushroom.
Kind of getting a little soft.
This unfun fact in from a paramedic and firefighter who's been on the job for over 21 years. He said, fun fact, unfun fact, dead bodies moan and grunt when you move them.
Oh, who doesn't know that?
Who's going to poke at a corpse?
Well,
you
a
gotta move it.
firefighter and paramedic. Yeah, you gotta move that thing around.
Anyone? Well, it's one of those truckers out there.
Yeah, probably.
Freaking trucker out there trying to.
I'm not dead yet. Yes, you are. No, really.
Oh, no.
No, I can tell that's the grunt and moan of a dead man. But I'm talking. Boy, here's one. This is unfact. In the 16th and 17th centuries, bandages soaked in human fat were used to treat wounds on the body. Nobility, scientists, the people in charge during those centuries, they believed that the human body itself was a key ingredient in medical remedies, and what they called corpse medicine increased in popularity. Finally, around the 1700s, it slowly but surely died out. Get it?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, okay, that's a pretty bad gash you've got. What'd you say? Your horse stomped on you? Okay, here's some human fat to try to make that.
I mean, that one doesn't even pass the smell test. When we talked about the constipation, you get too backed up, you can puke poop.
Yeah.
But this one just doesn't make sense. The body's dead. How can it help you live?
You know, going back to that thing where you can puke up your own poop, I do have a friend who, for his entire life, he has one hard, fast rule. He will not put a single bite of food in his mouth until he's had his evacuation for the day.
Okay.
And sometimes,
That's kind of like chicken or the egg.
Yeah, sometimes he wakes up and doesn't have to go, and he'll just sit there, and he'll be starving, and he's like, no, man, I can't eat until I've gone. And I'm always like, did you learn that in a Boy's Life magazine that you read? Did you misinterpret some information when you were 9?
Yeah,
a weird one.
Early 2000s, we had a guy try to drink another dude's colostomy bag for Kiss tickets, front row, of course. And he puked, so I guess he puked poop.
Oh, good.
Technically, yeah. Did not win the tickets either.
What?
Win?
No, the guy that ate the cow eyeballs raw, which, by the way, are the size of large ripe plums. It's a very large eyeball. He ate those raw, like 3 of them. He got the tickets.
Boy, we have really gone. We've gone well off the unfun. We're deeply unfun at this particular
Did the
moment.
colostomy dude get at least nosebleed tickets to Kiss? Did he get to go to the show at all?
I watched a lot of crazy crap in our garage in the building we're all sitting in right now. I watched a lot of crazy crap that day. The colostomy bag guy was the only one that made me irp a little. I did.
Yeah. No, his reward was he didn't have to go see Kiss. This is here's an unfun fact. Prions, not cars. Prions, also known as a misfolded protein in the brain, and then it causes other proteins in your brain to misfold. And this literally causes a condition called sponge brain, or small holes in the brain. Now, prions disease is always fatal. There's no known cure or treatment to slow it. They can also be contagious or genetic. Check this out. The contagious form cannot be killed by extreme heat, meaning when people with prion disease have to have surgery, the instruments used during the procedure are unable to be sterilized. You can't. There's no. The prions, the contagious form, the heat doesn't do anything. You can't sterilize it. Basically, if you got prions, just get on a sailboat and go west.
You got to destroy that whole operating room.
You're done. If you hear that word prion from a guy who's looking at a scan of your brain, literally just get a boat and head and just go, because you ain't coming back. Crocodiles can actually gallop, much like horses.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. You jump on the croc, I'll take the horse.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean,
there's just not that I'm really in an area where I might run across a crocodile often. It's good to know. I mean, I also know that if you are being chased by an alligator, to serpentine, like like in the movie The In-Laws. They got some speed, but they can't cut corners for crap.
Yeah, try that with a horse sometime. Go ahead and serpentine and see if that works out for you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work too
well. Doesn't work with calves. This is the kind of crap that Nat Geo throws out there when they just are trying to scare up a listener. Please watch us. Crocodiles gallop like horses, do they? Yeah.
Watch a croc rodeo. That's intriguing.
Yeah, in my horse skin boots.
Here's all right, here's your last one for the day. Scientists say a body submerged in deep water will be skeletonized in less than 4 days. They get swarmed by amphipods, which just not fish or big things you can see, but these tiny little amphipods. They've done studies. They will devour a pig carcass from the inside out just in a day or two. A human body down to the skeleton in 4 days. So remember, deep water is where you want to put that body. And all you truckers out there, it's deep water.
Go deep. All right, got it.
The amphipods are able to gallop as well.
That's right.
Just like a horse.
Hang on, is it Shakopee, the high school? They were the galloping amphipods.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, it's funny. They made him change the name. Names used to be so much better back in the day. Hey, want to give a quick morning shout out to our friends in Cologne. Not Germany. Cologne. No. I mean, although Cologne, Germany's lovely, I'm sure.
Cologne. It's what I splash on in the morning when I want to smell like Carver County.
That's exactly right, man. You got that. What sort of? They have a whole selection of colognes from Carver County. There's nachos, chicken wings. There's manure. There's a lot of great scents. But we're happy to have you with us on the morning show today. Let's. You know what? We do have another unfun fact, but we're gonna have to wait a moment for it, and that is a shocking arrest today from Cambridge. Oof, hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Tuesday, November the 19th. A brutal story out of Cambridge. We thought we'd share because you're going to be hearing about this one for a good bit of time. A gentleman named Kirk Hazlitt III has been arrested, charged with second-degree murder, felony kidnapping. A couple days ago, he went to see his father at a family hunting cabin in Pine County and shot and killed his dad and held an uncle and another family member against their will while he did so. This is a brutal story. I guess the only silver lining here is it could have been a lot worse. But as more information comes out, this is going to be something everybody's going to be hearing about and talking about up there for quite a while.
Yeah, some of the things that stand out in the story as I'm looking at it on Fox News this morning is that the members of the family that were in the hunting cabin saw him approaching. I'm talking about Hazlitt III, approaching the cabin on a hunting cam, and immediately with a pistol in his hand. And immediately someone went for their gun, was not able to make it before he came through the door. And then through a series of events that we'll probably hear more about, he ends up shooting his dad 9 times.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Asked the other two guys, or told the other two men to sit down on the couch, and then shot his dad 9 times, the last shot being through the back of the head, execution style. Now, both the guys on the couch said he appeared very coherent. And that he, in quotes, didn't appear under the influence of any substances, but that his dad Hazlitt II and this man, Hazlitt III, were not getting along for a long time and not in good relations. But you think to yourself, this wasn't just a kind of a heat of the moment, drunk. Someone did something really, really stupid, premeditated, went there, and then went home, and then waited for the police to arrest him. And it's hard to. I've had a few disagreements with the old man, but it's hard to get yourself in this headspace of how you could execute your father like this over a disagreement. We don't know those details.
Yeah, no. And I would imagine a lot of those aren't going to come out. If they ever do, it won't be until there's a trial. But this is an awful story. And I know that entire community, when something like this happens, anybody within shouting distance of this family or that community is seeing the world pretty differently today. It's just an awful story.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's really, I mean, you kind of follow it now to see, what some motive here might have been. And, they haven't used the words mental illness. But you just start leaping in that direction thinking there has to be something more than a disagreement between a father and a son. But, of course, those details will start to emerge.
Every time there's a story where you say, like, oh, well, he was upset, the kid was upset his parents wouldn't let him play Xbox. And it's like, well, this is in no way an excuse or saying it's okay, but I'm saying it's not the Xbox. There was obviously a much deeper situation there. That's just a 1 million straw on the camel's back, but this is a tough situation. Everybody up in Cambridge, that's a rough one to be getting your head around this morning for sure. How about a great father-son story?
Please.
The opposite exactly. Let's go down to North Texas. There's a kid named Jared Gines, or Gines, I guess is how you would pronounce his last name. Jared is a young man. He's in his 40s. And a few years ago, he had a really good year. And he thought, well, I could pay down my mortgage, or maybe, you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll get that thing my dad has always talked about. That thing my dad had to give up back when I was born. Here's the story. Jared was born in the 80s. He's about 40, 1984. So he's exactly 40. When he was born, his dad, Earl, a lot of diapers, a lot of baby food, a lot of expenses all of a sudden in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to let go his pride and joy, his 1967 Chevrolet Camaro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, I bought a couple of Harleys off new dads. A lot of Harleys,
you just saying that, just like, no. Yeah, well, of course you have.
That's the old joke. Why are you selling your Harley? Well, the same reason everyone sells their Harley. I got married and had a kid. Then when the kids leave, you buy a Harley off another dad, another new dad or whatever. But so this kid's going to go back and make things right, so to speak.
So he didn't think to himself, I'm going to find a car just like that one my dad gave up. He grew up in a house where he heard about this car. He had pictures of this car. 67 Marina Blue Camaro SS, 350 small block V8, automatic 3-speed transmission, Krager Chrome 15-inch mag wheels. I mean, the kid knew all about this car, growing up hearing about it. And then after, as I said, 2021, he had a really good year, had some extra cash, gets online, starts doing a little sleuthing. He asked his dad about it once. His dad said, I just sold it for cash. I have no proof of sale. But 12 months of internet sleuthing, he finds a car just 70 miles away from his home, goes down, makes a few connections, and, here's a little audio of when he showed his father what he had uncovered.
That is not just a 67 Camaro. Right. That is your 67 Camaro. That is your car. Thanks for the diaper money, Dad. That was my car. Yeah, it's your car. Wanting Dad to really understand how much I love him. And I'm like, what is the greatest thing possible? And it's the Camaro. It was always going to be the Camaro.
By the way, kept it for 2 years, having it restored.
To
beyond, off the line, Jerry.
Kept it secret all that time?
Kept it secret for 2 years, and then on his dad's 65th birthday, brought it to him and said, here you go, bud. Here's that car. Thanks for giving it up for my diapers.
Tossed him the keys.
I'm already feeling so disappointed in my own children. I'm not 65 yet, but I guarantee you, they're not gonna be saying like, "Hey, Dad, here's that Vespa scooter you gave up."
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Taylor and Sydney aren't up this morning with a light bulb going off over their head. Remember that old 72 chopper Dad used to have until Taylor was born? Yeah, that's okay, kids. Take your time. You've got a few years to get it just right.
My dad had to give up smoking, and I just don't know how I'm going to get all those cartons of cigarettes.
There you go.
Wow.
What do I do?
It's funny. My dad, the Duck, had a story that we heard a lot growing up, and it was simply this. I want to say a 54, maybe a 55 Mercedes Gullwing. One of the earliest Mercedes, the two-door with the wings that rise up a Gullwing.
Holy crap.
There was one in Detroit where he lived at the time, and it came somehow somebody was getting rid of one, very low miles, an almost new car. And at the time, it was just out of my dad's reach, and he saw it, and he told the story, he said, I knew more than anything I've ever known that car's going to be worth a fortune one day, and I should buy it and just put it in storage and barely use. Like, he saw the vision for it, and he was telling us this story. And at the time, I remember hearing it for the first time. One of those cars would have, he could have gotten it for like $2,500, and then in the 70s, it would have been worth $25,000. Well, now it's worth $1 million or more. You get one of those original Gullwings. They go for crazy amounts of money. And I just think it's funny because at no moment in time did any of his 8 children think, let's track down one of those Gullwings for Dad. Never would have crossed the wildest figments of our imagination. It was like, oh, sorry, you didn't get that car, Dad. Anyway, I got a soccer game. Got to go.
Well, first you would have had to track down Dad.
Well, there's that, too.
And then track down the vehicle.
That's a big part of it, Tony. Why would you say that, you bastard?
Now, every dad out there listening that's turning 65 that ends up with a Walmart gift card and going to be like, you. God,
I gotta
kids,
think.
you're worthless.
See, but for me, it wouldn't be a car. I'm going to give my kids, you got 5 years to come up with something. I'm trying to think of what it would be. Oh, you know what? My first ever drum kit, the first drum kit I ever owned that was mine. I bought it when I was 21 years old. So, and I only had it for 3 years. And the singer in my band gave it to someone else. Just said, oh, hey, Steve's drums are. He goes, oh, you can have them.
What?
Didn't even check with you?
Frickin' singers.
No. Oh, God, no. Didn't check with me.
Wow.
Didn't check with anyone ever about anything.
Didn't get a bag of drugs out of it or nothing?
No, nothing at all. But the fun part is the guy that he gave that kit to then sued the band and cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees and a 2-week trial. So that's fun. That's fun. And then I just heard last year, and then last year, after all those years, the dude put that kit up on eBay, like Steve Gorman's first drum kit. No, and here's the crazy thing: I would have bought it back if I'd even known it was there, and someone else bought it.
Well, Steve, Tony, and Ryder and I, we're going to wait for a better moment than this. But I mean, strike while the iron's hot. Ryder, go ahead and bring that drum kit in now, would you?
Pull the cloth off this one.
If it, I tell you what, if it's still as big a piece of crap as it was when I ended it, no thanks. I just want pure sentimental value, but that thing didn't sound. It just sounded like a bunch of cardboard boxes, if memory serves. All right, let's get on with it. Let's stop talking about how much of our kids are going to let us down when we turn 65. We got hockey tickets, baby. Everybody wants hockey tickets. We got Minnesota Wild, Winnipeg Jets. Oh my God, that is a banger of a game Monday night, and if you would like these tickets, you're going to want to hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. It's the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on Minnesota's classic rock 92 KQRS.
Good morning. That was, of course, Rush with Tom Sawyer. I just imagine Rush in the studio every time they'd be listening back to the take, and they'd look at Neil Peart and go, any other drums you want to hit or anything? Did you get all that out of your system? You good? All right, cool. Let's go on with it then. Sounds good. Thanks, bud. This is a Tuesday, and we have been enjoying ourselves already this morning, and it's about to get really heated in the Twin Cities. Monday night at the XL Energy Center, the Winnipeg Jets come to town. And if you, for some reason, are just now tuning in to what's happening in the NHL, the Wild are in second place in the Western Conference with an 11-3-3 record behind the Jets. Two teams playing excellent hockey, and they will be squaring off Monday night. We have tickets right now we want to give away. So if you want to try to win these tickets by playing an awesome game, call 651-989-ROCK right now. The KQ Talk and Text line, 651-989-ROCK. We will take callers 9 and 2, and you will be going head-to-head, ladies and or gentlemen. So get on the horn right now. In the meantime, how about this? How about we just take a moment and say good morning, Minnetonka?
Oh, Minnetonka. What can you say about Minnetonka? But, you're always going to have a good time out there.
Not a bad place to be. Probably a great place to be from. It's a great place to be heading. It's gorgeous out there. What are you kidding?
The Party
Great lake to get lost on.
Yes, good lake.
The what?
The Party Lake cannot be denied.
It cannot be denied. Absolutely fantastic. So we know there's a lot of you in Minnetonka, and you're waking up and you're like, well, gotta head into town. No, you don't. Just stay there. Just why leave if you're already
want to?
If you're already out there in a heavenly paradise like Minnetonka, just stay put and enjoy the water. Take pictures, send them to us. Just shove it in our face what we're missing.
Yes, we can take pictures and video at 651-989-ROCK.
Gotcha. Fair enough. So here we go. We are ready to rock a game of sorts, I do believe. The Colonel Tony Lee. Are you a lieutenant colonel or colonel? What is it? Where did you retire?
Well, I don't like to boast about it, but Grand Poobah actually is my
bad.
official title.
My bad. Grand Poobah Tony Lee, the Quizmaster General's got a little something up his sleeve. What are we doing today, brother?
Yeah, we're tired of that crap, too. It's everywhere. You can't escape it. It's pumpkin spice season, and more things are incorporating the scent and flavor you love or hate. So we're going to read offerings of pumpkin spice, and you just tell us, are they real or fake?
Nice. Yeah. It's that time of year. All right, so we got a couple callers locked and loaded. Who we got, Tony? Who's
the kids are ready. Number one is Pete from Edina.
Pete, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Pete, give me your favorite band.
Let's go with Van Halen.
Van Halen always works around these parts. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
We're going with the Wild.
Nice. All right. Well, man, you're enjoying this season so far, I would have to imagine. Are we going back and forth, or are we going one at a time?
Yeah, let's go back and forth.
Nice. Pete, sit tight for 1 sec. Tony, who's contestant number 2?
Number 2 is Devin from Lakeville.
Devin, good morning.
Morning.
Give me your favorite band, brother.
I would say Foreigner.
Foreigner. Nice. Give me your favorite team, any sport.
Well, I'll go with Minnesota Wild, like everybody's been going with.
Very nice. Right. That works.
Going with the crowd.
So, Pete and Devin, couple of pumpkin spice aficionados on the horn right now. Let's see what we got. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, fellas. Start with Pete. Number 1 is pumpkin spice Jif peanut butter. Is that real or is it fake?
I would say no.
I'm sorry. You can get that. Jif peanut butter pumpkin spice. Probably pretty yummy.
I mean, yum.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not a big pumpkin spice guy, although this year I did get a pumpkin spice flu shot.
Oh, now I got to scratch that one off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. So sorry, Tony. That is a real thing.
All right, Devin, yours is pumpkin spice Jell-O instant pudding.
That is. I would say that is a thing.
It is, yes. You can get that.
Sure is. And we've got a quart of it right here.
Righto.
Actually, we don't.
Pete, depends. Pumpkin spice adult diapers. Yes or no?
That one I'm going to definitely say no.
That's right.
They don't come out of the packaging like that, but
no,
God
after
knows
the
there's plenty of them
dinner,
there's plenty of them on the other side of this season.
Devin, the Talkin' Pumpkin Spice podcast. Is that a real thing or not?
That sounds like it could be a real thing. I mean, there's so many different names for podcasts nowadays.
Sorry. Although, wow, I mean, it very well could be or it could be soon.
The first episode's going to be recorded this morning right here at about 10:05 because that's a hot item.
Pete, Kellogg's Pumpkin Spice Frosted Flakes. Yes or no?
Just went grocery shopping, and it sounds real, but I didn't see it. I'm going to say no on that one.
I'm sorry, those are real. You can. Big Tiger, you can get them.
Mm-hmm.
They're great.
Mm-hmm. You think so?
No, I wouldn't. No.
All right, Devin, Automart's Pumpkin Spice Windshield Wiper Fluid.
I don't think that's a thing.
Correct, it is not.
The saddest part of this game is every time we all go, what? Maybe. I wouldn't. Can't count any of this crap out.
Next up, King Palm Pumpkin Spice Pre-Roll Cannabis Papers.
I would say real.
It is true.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Zep goes,
I don't
right
know,
away.
but I would have guessed yes on that one, yeah.
Yeah, was that something that you would use?
Nice.
Sure. I mean, if you passed it to the right, I don't think I'd go looking for it.
Next up, pumpkin spice face masks. Can you get those or not?
I would say yes.
Yes, you can.
Sure you can.
Next, the Smashing Pumpkins Pumpkin Spice Commemorative CD box set.
There's no way he would let that ever happen. I'm going to say no.
That's correct. That's
true Corrigan fan right there.
Yes, he would object. All right, next is Frank's Pumpkin Spice Bavarian Sauerkraut.
I would say no.
Correct, it is not.
Bang.
Hanes Pumpkin Spice Boxer Briefs.
That's a no for me.
No.
More of a Fruit of the Loom thing.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dr. Scholl's Pumpkin Spice Odor Fighting Inserts.
I could see that being a thing.
Nope, not yet.
I kind of feel like, feet smell a little bit like pumpkin spice anyway.
Very true.
Kind of redundant. All right, two more, lads. The next one is Munster brand pumpkin spice meatballs for dogs.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
They'll eat anything.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's what the dog owner said in the aisle at PetSmart. Why not?
And our last one, Durex pumpkin spice condoms.
No.
Correct.
Really?
Yep. No.
I thought
That was a gimmick,
that was going to be there. All right, well,
I think so.
Looks like Devin won that one in a squeaker. Devin, congratulations, my brother. You nipped out Pete there. I got 5-3 was my count. Somewhere along the way I might have missed one, but we know you got more. So you've won the tickets, brother. The Jets and the Wild Monday night. Have a great time. Pete, thanks for calling in and playing.
Thank you. Yep.
You got it. Man.
Pumpkin spicy.
Very, very much pumpkin spicy. Speaking of pumpkin spice, there's a website. It's called Finance Buzz, and they're going to give you $1,000. Well, they're going to give somebody $1,000 to try all of the pumpkin-flavored products that Trader Joe's is stocking this fall. They'll give you 2 weeks to do it, but they're saying, okay, we're going to give someone $1,000. All you got to do is go to Trader Joe's and get every single pumpkin spice thing they have. The actual job title is Pumpkin Spice Pundit. It's dozens of products from pumpkin waffles to pumpkin spiced ginger brew. It's just under 60 products apparently.
Yeah. And knock yourself out. Yeah. When I would go home, especially back in the old starving bachelor days after Thanksgiving, there's always a pumpkin pie or two left over.
Sure.
I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
To a point. And so they would give me a pumpkin pie. I never finished one ever in my life because I like about 3 pieces, maybe 4 a year, and then that's it. So, yeah, this is just way too much pumpkin.
There's no reason to put yourself through that much pumpkin. I'm with you. A slice of pumpkin pie, one a year, and I'm good to go. I was thinking while we were playing the game that there should be a Halloween themed reboot of the Spice Girls, and you just add pumpkin spice as one of the girls. I'm surprised they haven't. There's got to be a product out there where you get Spice Girls in the commercial, and it's funny, and it's like, introducing here's our new Spice. He's pumpkin spice, isn't it? And she comes out and she's got a big orange costume, looks like a jack. Maybe she's the headless jack-o'-lantern, the headless horseman pumpkin. I don't know. There's something there.
That would be Scary Spice.
That would be
headless.
That would be Scary Spice. Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Good thinking. Just a thought for all you marketing folks out there. Get pumpkin spice up on stage with the other Spice Girls. A reference from 30 years ago. When's the last time the Spice Girls meant anything to anybody?
I don't know. I just Googled it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Ask David Beckham.
The Rolling Stones did the Pumpkin Spice Girls photo shoot, and this would have been in 2020. Oh, those aren't the Spice Girls, though. Oh. It's a different. All 5 members of Pumpkin Spice: cinnamon, ginger, clove, nutmeg, and allspice.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
All the great ideas are taken.
Dang it.
Man. That's a rough one. We told you, we were talking the other day about how the difficulties that a lot of people, especially in America or exclusively in America, have with roundabouts. You know, you want that four-way stop, and sometimes it's a roundabout, and you either love it or you hate it, or you're just a yes fan. But either way, there's a family in England that's taken their love of roundabouts to a whole new level. Hang tight.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning. It is Tuesday, November the 19th. There are no shortage of roundabouts in the metro area. I'm always thrilled to see one coming because I like a good roundabout.
Yeah.
Who needs a four-way stop when you can just keep on moving as long as you know which lane to get into and get out of? I'm a fan. What can I say? But then again, I've always had a more of a continental approach to things. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means. But no, I dig roundabouts. That said, there's a family in Wales. Now, Wales is that little section of Western England that's its own country, but it's part of the United Kingdom. They speak a bizarre language, and generally speaking, they have a nice lilt, and when they tell a story, it goes up and down, and it's a very exciting place to be, very gorgeous. Robert Plant loves Wales, so I mean, what's your beef with Wales? Get over it. It's lovely. But there's a town. There's a little town in Wales called Ruthin. And it's along a road called the A525, and that connects Rhyl to Ruthin in Wales. And there's a family that's had a plot of land there for 60 years. They've been there since 1960. And the family grew up, and there they are. And it's a gorgeous little spot. They got their own little slice of heaven. And in the late 70s, the community, the city council type folk from the area came to them and said, hey, we're reworking the roads around here, and we're going to put in a really large roundabout. It's going to connect a few major thoroughfares, and your house is right in the middle of where we want this roundabout to be, so we're going to buy you out, and we'll move you along. And the guy living there said, no, I don't think so. And they said, no, really, we're gonna pave a roundabout right around your property. Mm-hmm. You'll be in the middle of a giant roundabout. And the guy said, yeah, go for it. This is my home. I'm not leaving.
Yeah, well.
And he didn't. He said, no, I don't care. They went back and forth for several years. In 1980, this roundabout opened up. It connected several major thoroughfares. And for 44 years, this family's house has been in the middle of a roundabout. They are quite sincerely and literally incapable of leaving home during rush hour.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
You showed them, didn't you?
They time their departures based on traffic because they are in all directions. They are in the middle of a 360 roundabout. They're one driveway entrance. And they said sometimes people really, everyone knows who they are. They're the roundabout family, and people will not let them come in sometimes. They're like, no, you chose to live there. Suck it up, Buttercup.
That is not the Midwest nice drivers we have around here.
No. These are people in Wales who do anything for a laugh, including keeping this family bottled up in their own property.
Oh, man. My dad got into a fight with the guy that delivered propane to the house, and not about propane, not the high cost of propane or how he delivered the propane, about a softball game that they had played on Thursday night. And as a result, we were no longer getting our propane from the only propane dealer in the county of Beetle County, South Dakota. And we started cutting down trees.
Oh, boy.
And we went, yeah, if you got up in the morning and the thermostat had a 5 in front of it, it was a warm morning in the house.
Oh, boy.
Thanks, Dad. You showed him.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
They never did go bankrupt, that propane company.
I guess they didn't. The gentleman who lives there now, it's a second generation family member. He says he might be moving on, but the house will stay in the family. Oh no, it'll stay in the family. One of my children will stay here. I mean, there was a house in my neighborhood as a kid that everybody knew them as the guys who give out a can of Coke on Halloween. Okay. There's certain people. We had a neighbor who we just called him Old Man Buddha because he had one Buddhist statue in his garden. I don't know if he was a Buddhist, but he had a little statue of Buddha, so he was Old Man Buddha. Didn't know a thing about him. So, there are certain neighbors where you know something about them. They have a moniker or a nickname, or they're known for X, Y, or Z. And this family clearly is known as the Roundabout family, and apparently the next generation doesn't want to lose the luster.
The Roundabout family?
Oh, yeah. You know, Michael, the young laddie lives on the Roundabout. Oh, that's the nicest roundabout in the village. Is that your home? I'd like to go visit you in the middle of the roundabout, but I'd hate to get stuck.
I mean, if it got me laid, sure, but what's the upside? What do you get out of the deal except a lot of traffic and headache
in
with
all
the whole
directions.
thing?
I mean, I'm looking at, there's an overhead picture here. I mean, there's a little bit of clearance, to the sides, but from the front and back of the house, you just got cars just whizzing by you, and it's not like there's not traffic in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
And
So-
if you get a drunk American tourist who forgets where he is, he's going to be right in your living room driving a car one night.
You don't say.
Just saying. First time I went to London, I instead of being like, oh my God, look at how gorgeous the Houses of Parliament are. Look at Big Ben. Look at the Thames. No, that's what every other American. Big Ben, Parliament, and then you say it again, and everyone laughs once, and then you're like, okay, that's enough.
Right. Yeah.
Ruined that moment for me, that movie, because I had to say it out loud.
Probably ruined it for all of England.
Tony, you said the other day that you were not a fan of roundabouts. Have you come around since that first conversation? Or
since that conversation just 2 days ago, I've grown to love them with a passion.
Right.
Excellent. Yeah. No,
Well,
that's great.
Let's play back a little bit of Tony explaining why he didn't like roundabouts from a few days ago.
We didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the counter, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I wouldn't.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It all started because of that story of the couple of hoople heads that got into the fight in the roundabout. They're polarizing those roundabouts.
Yeah, apparently so. The idea that it is this one simple concept, which is if you're entering, you don't have the right of way. The guy who's already in there, the guy who's already confused trumps your just about to get confused card. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like the ones that come to the complete stop and then just sit there with the blinker on.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that happened to a lady Friday. She just stopped with the blinker on. I could see the top of her gray head. So you swallow it, you tone it down. It wasn't another guy I could just lay on the horn with. So I let her go for a moment.
Or if they give you the go ahead, even though they're not.
There is no go ahead.
There's a roundabout that I do drive through on occasion that right outside one of as you're exiting the roundabout, there's a pedestrian walkway, and they put it way too close to the roundabout itself, and pedestrians have the right of way. So as someone's trying to exit the roundabout, often they stop on a dime because there's pedestrians right there, if you follow. And so that every time the people still in the roundabout will just honk because they're unaware of the fact that the person's trying not to run over a human being. And it just lit. So my one thing on the roundabout is put the pedestrians, get them way outside the roundabout. We need more space to get ready to not run over our fellow citizens. That's my one tip to MDOT when you're paving more of these bad boys. By the way, and there's no I really want to have it queued up just for when I have a roundabout problem. I do want George Benson's Give Me the Night playing.
Did not expect that.
Any traffic altercation, any road rage, any me yelling at another guy with their windows down, I want that song blaring. And just because you know what? You could, if you did that enough, you would eventually pull up next to somebody who's like, hey man, what do you think? Is that George Benson? I just want to diffuse all the rage. Another issue on our roads, it's not roundabouts, but it's robot cars, self-driving cars. The company Waymo has been operating in L.A. and San Francisco for a while. These are completely driverless Ubers is the best way to describe it. The autonomous ride-hailing service. It's a car. It's covered in cameras that are constantly surveying things. I've not been in one. I've not been to the West Coast since these got popular, but I have a friend in L.A. who says they're incredible. He goes, no, they're great. They just pull right up. You hop in. You get 4 of you or 5 of you in a car. There's no driver. You got a little extra room. Everyone's just talking. They don't. He said after your second time, you don't even think about it anymore. They're just buzzing around driving themselves. And now San Francisco's got Waymos. I'm sorry, man. San Francisco's a little too much for me. The hills and the trolleys, and that's a difficult place to drive a car, generally speaking. So there's something about a robot car dealing with that. It's probably safer, but more freaky for me. But now there's another company that's doing it. There's now competition in San Francisco. Zoox, Z-O-O-X. Owned by Amazon, they're testing their purpose-built robo-taxis in San Francisco. Now, the Waymo cars, they kind of look like a car. Like, there's an actual steering wheel with no one sitting behind it. The new Zoox don't even have a steering wheel. You got 4 passengers. You're sitting and facing each other. It's like a train car. 2 people in front, 2 people in back, all facing each other. Or like you're playing a game of cards.
Okay, well, I mean, that's more efficient use of the space, isn't it?
I guess it is. It is.
It's jarring. It's weird. It's something odd to jump into. You just got to wrap your mind around it. Here we have 4 driverless Waymo cars having a Minnesota standoff. But it happened in San Francisco at a 4-way stop.
The Waymo is stuck because the Waymo is trying to go behind the Amazon, but then it's stuck behind the Waymo, and oh my God, there's another Waymo. What's everybody gonna do? Waymo standoff? It is a Waymo standoff. What is gonna happen? Who's gonna win? There's 4 of them stuck. That Waymo came through.
Finally, that took 19 minutes. 4 driverless Waymo cars at a 4-way stop, and it took 19 minutes for one of them to finally override and just go.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm not interested myself. You know what? The truth is, I'm not interested in any of this. Let's just stop. Let's just admit we've got enough stuff that works and cool gadgetry, and let's just take a couple years off. Just a quick sabbatical. Let's just look out for each other. What do you say? As long as we're out here, let's a little bit more hugging, a little less teching.
You know what I'm fantasizing about, though? Everyone, and I mean everyone on the road, being in a driverless car except me. Wouldn't that be some sort of cool video game, some sort of power, just blasting past people because your car won't speed? Oh, mine does. Mine passes on the right.
Yeah, that's going to be the long-awaited sequel to the Omega Man. All the automated cars are trying to kill you, and you got to get back to your cool mansion before the sun goes down. That'd be absolutely freaking awesome. Are you kidding me? On the KQ Talking text line, Michael texted in. He goes, that was Matthew Broderick in Europe. That was Chevy Chase, not Matthew Broderick in European Vacation. My Matthew Broderick reference was to the fact that he was driving on the wrong side of the road in Ireland and killed somebody.
Yeah.
Kind of a dark moment in his career, not his career, but in his life. That just so you know, I know who Chevy Chase is. I just want that. I can't let that slide. I do know the difference. So I went with a really dark, weird, out of nowhere reference point instead.
Which one was funnier?
Who am I? What am I, Dennis Miller over here?
Yeah. I got your back. It was Steve Gorman that sent me that piece of audio from European Vacation this morning.
Speaking of cars, real quick question. Ryder, can you change a flat tire?
Yes. With a jack, yes. Without a jack,
no.
That's
right. That's right.
Well, yeah, I it's a given in my world that there is a jack involved, yes.
Okay, yes with a jack. I can't lift the car by myself.
If there's not a jack, I guess you gotta what? You gotta like drive up on the guardrail and have one tire hanging over the. Change. Okay, I've changed a flat tire. I've never changed my oil in a car. Never done it.
No,
me neither.
Never did it.
Nothing to it.
I that's what they tell me. One of these days, maybe that'll happen. Change my brake fluid. Never done it.
I haven't done that one either.
I've done that. I mean, I think the last vehicle I worked on, I had a 97 Chevy pickup truck. That I could work on. I don't even know where the hell the oil filter is now. When I open my Ram truck, I open the hood. It just looks like, I don't know, Star Wars in there to me. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man.
I don't. It's and there's so much gadgetry in there now. I don't want to take anything apart. I feel like I'm going to F it up.
The first time I showed my kids how to use jumper cables, they looked at me like I was Stephen Hawking.
It's jumper cables.
And they were like, how do you know how to do this? I'm like, guys, really, you're just from a time when you just can't imagine what it was like to just not have an automatic window. You know what I mean? Like, they're just looking at me like, this is amazing. You connected that thing to that thing, and then you connected that thing to that thing, and then this car started too? That's a miracle. Like, yeah, man. Cars were kind of cool back in the day. Now, just hit that button.
I got a buddy in Chicago that rents out old vintage cars so families can take road trips in old vintage cars.
Yeah,
you know, with they got that little wing window up there, you know, so Dad could have a ciggy and flick his ashes out that little wing.
That wing window was awesome.
Yeah.
Man. Just as you said that wing window, and I immediately had like a heartwarming, the wing window. Dad's Terrytons. Yeah. That was great. This is a good text on the line. I take natural stupidity over artificial intelligence every day of the week.
There you go.
That's a KQ t-shirt right there waiting to happen. Make no mistake about it. All right, here we go. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They've got a new album called Pumpkin Spice. No, that's not true. Trans-Siberian Orchestra bringing their holiday hits on tour. You could see them in the city of your choice. Phoenix, Tampa, Nashville, Atlanta. It's your call. One winner will score 2 premium tickets to the TSO concert of their choice, plus round-trip air, a 3-night hotel stay, plus a $1,000 gift card. Text the national keyword NIGHT, no K, just NIGHT, to 95819 for a chance to win. The top 5 at 9 coming up. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. You're listening to the KQ Morning Show. Steve, Zepp, Tony, and Ryder on 92 KQRS.
Good Tuesday morning. It is November the 19th. If you're just getting up, just rolling out, just hitting the road, let us let you in on your top 5 at 9. Here are the main stories of the day. We're starting off with a very, very dark story from up in Cambridge at a Pine County hunting cabin. A murder took place a couple days ago. Kirk Hazlitt III, 31-year-old man. He's been charged with the murder of his father, Kirk Hazlitt II. It's a 2-bedroom cabin out in the woods. Gentleman showed up at his family's hunting cabin, walked up the driveway with a gun. Security cameras picked him up. The people inside the house, this gentleman's dad and his uncle, went to retrieve their firearms because they thought, here comes trouble, and they did not have time. Long story short, guy comes into the house, kills his dad, lets his uncle and another person go after keeping them sort of held against their will for a few minutes. It's an awful story. Everybody up in Cambridge, I'm sure, is their minds must be reeling over this. That's about all the information we have. A couple of witnesses, a couple of other family members said there'd been a long-standing series of miscommunication and misunderstandings and resentment in the family. Not good relations. They hadn't gotten along in a long time, but obviously things came to a terrible head up in Cambridge. So that's a really, really tough thing for that whole community to be grappling with this morning.
For sure.
A much lesser bit of bad news. Number 4 on your top 5 at 9. What about those Cowboys? If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, I get it. But for the rest of us, we just love watching you suck. And last night, the Cowboys got run out by the Houston Texans. The Battle of Texas was anything but. It was a blowout. The Cowboys are tanking. I mean, they're just they've given up for sure. The one move Jerry Jones has made in a long time that I think everybody agrees is the good move is don't even try this year. It's over. But last night, before kickoff, for the first time in 2 years, the Cowboys decided to open up the roof at that big stadium. You know, you can open it up, let the fresh air in. And as they were trying to open the roof, a very large piece of sheet metal fell and a few other small objects all the way right down onto the turf. Nobody was hurt, but if you want to take a look at a giant piece of sheet metal falling, video is all over the place. You can see it. The decision was then made, let's not open the roof and take a chance at having more falling debris. Let's just close that bad boy up. If there's ever what's the term? Just a perfect metaphor for the Dallas Cowboys over the last few decades. Let's let some fresh air in. And never mind. Let's not let some fresh air in.
Remember that year when it all went wrong? Good for the Dallas Cowboys. Good for Jerry Jones. And I hope Jerry Jones lives for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
My gosh, no kidding.
To maintain the Cowboys. I love watching Jerry ball down there.
Jerry was good at making money in the oil world, and he was good at hiring Jimmy Johnson, and ever since then, it's been a grease fire. Like, you hired the right coach right when you got to town, and then ever since then, in social psychology, there's a term called illusory superiority, like the illusion of superiority. A cognitive bias where people who are really, really good at one thing think they're really, really good at everything. And Jerry Jones, we're looking at you, buddy boy. Good Lord. What 82, 83-year-old guy do you know that should be the GM of a football team? General managers of football teams sleep for about 7 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Their whole world is consumed with building a roster.
Yeah,
and Jerry Jones doesn't let anyone make a decision in that building.
I like it. They're all overweight. They look like they've been through a couple of presidencies in one season, and for some reason they never shave their neck. They've got hair. I mean, they look like, honestly, like, me coming back from a hunting trip. So, not for Jerry Jones, but hey, he's a billionaire. He can run that team into the ground any old way he'd like to. I do have a nephew that's a Dallas Cowboy fan. He's like, oh, they won 3 Super Bowls. I'm like, dude, that was before you were born. Let it go.
Yeah, it's really astonishing when you add up and realize how long it's been since that team has been anywhere near a Lombardi trophy. It's great for us, though. We love it. Yeah, like you said, Jerry, just keep taking those vitamins, brother. Number 3 on your top 5 at 9. They're going to put a statue of Jerry Jones up one day because his family will see to it. But if we want to talk about where the whole world every town in the world should have a statue of Alexander Cummings. Alexander Cummings is a Scottish watchmaker, but it wasn't the wristwatch that he came up with that we love. My man patented the first flushable toilet.
Oh, well, then we have lots of statues in his honor.
Well, that's true. That's you're right. Yeah. Every bathroom in the Western world has a statue to his honor. He patented that bad boy, the first flushable toilet, in 1775. This is National Toilet Day.
Yeah, well, just like a pigeon craps on a statue, I crapped in Mr. Cummings' statue earlier this morning. So my way to honor him.
Oh, I mean,
what an honor.
In the getting as real as we can, we often talk about how if the world made sense, teachers would be far more they'd be way better paid.
Some of them,
some of them would be, but the people you look around, garbage men should be making all the decisions in our lives. I mean, my God, when they go on strike, everybody stops everything they're doing. But the guy who invented the toilet, just can't say enough good things about him. Thank you, Al for short. I call him Al Cummings.
Right.
Great job. Al Cummings sounds like a second baseman for the Tigers in the 1940s, but our Alexander Cummings invented the toilet. Couple things about toilets here. An 1891 patent for perforated toilet paper, when that was a brand new thing.
Yeah.
The drawings, the sketches that accompanied the request for a patent depicted the toilet paper with the over orientation, as in the paper hanging over the roll. So if you are an over-under person, if you are one who goes, no, I like it when it hangs under, if that's a conversation you've had, the over was the original intended method. For the record.
Yeah.
Now,
I feel vindicated. I'm definitely an over person.
Sure.
I am too, but I have to come clean. I grew up in an under household.
What?
Yeah,
purposely under?
Imelda went under. All the toilet paper was always under, and I'm sure she had a reason for it. But I used to scoff at the overs when I'd be at a friend's house. But then one day I dawned on me, like, no, I'm going over. I'm not going back, and I haven't turned back. Sorry, Mom.
Welcome.
To quote Steve Gorman, the answer to so many questions I never thought to ask.
See? Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here for and just an endless stream of drivel. And occasionally a little seed takes place.
Yeah.
A seed finds its purchase in the back of your brain.
I got a call from a buddy saying, hey, you want to have a beer? And I'm like, dude, weren't you on a big date tonight? And he walked out of the date because she started getting after him about the over-under thing. They were quizzing each other like you do playfully, and she just playfully said over-under, and he said, I don't know, it doesn't matter to me. And then she got a little chippy about, well, the right answer is over. What are you, a moron? And he walked out of the restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
Good call on his part. That's not something to fight over.
Yeah.
I'd say
No,
bullet
right,
dodge.
exactly. Right, yeah, right. Agreed. We had a couple of fine beers that night.
I can't believe that lady's not taken.
Oh, no, I called her up later for a booty.
Sure you did. Fun facts for...
Over and under.
Whoa, well, here we go.
Oh, come on now.
Here we go. Fun fact about toilets in space. On the International Space Station, astronauts use suction-powered toilets to ensure that the waste doesn't float away in microgravity.
Oh, good to
I want one of those.
They strap themselves to the seat and rely on airflow for cleanliness. I mean,
Okay.
also known as as a spacema. Number 2 on your top 5 at 9. Check this out. The Albany area secondary school is in some hot water, because this is up in central Minnesota. They had a lesson on communication. Okay, they sit down a bunch of 9th graders and they say, we're going to talk about the powers and the importance of effective communication. And so the kids were handed a questionnaire, the materials asking them how they might communicate in different scenarios. And obviously the information, this quiz, was taken from some sort of source. Not a lot of proofreading from the teachers or administrators before handing the following question to freshmen, 9th graders, 14-year-olds. One of the questions on the quiz: you want your partner to be more adventurous in the bedroom. How do you communicate your desire? Oh, my God.
In 9th grade, I'm still thinking about, my buddy Scott. I'm like, I don't understand. Why? I don't know how to pleasure Scott. He likes to play catch.
Well, you're thinking like, at that age, you could be thinking like more your partner. What is that, like my best friend? More adventurous in the bedroom, like when we slept in our tents in the bedroom that night.
Right.
Maybe have bunk beds.
We pretended we were out in the Yukon. we pretended the floor was lava and the pillows were rocks. That was pretty adventurous.
At 14, you're starting to come around, but yeah, you haven't thought about being more adventurous in the sack. How did this slip through the cracks?
14, you're starting to come around and up and down and left and right. So, by the way, there are answers. You choose the answer that fits. So again, a questionnaire handed to 9th graders. You want your partner to be more adventurous in the bedroom. How do you communicate your desire? A, handcuff them to the bed and take matters into your own hands. B, I'm not making this up. B, you don't. It's too awkward to talk about. That's your Minnesota answer.
That is your Minnesota answer.
Yeah.
3, tell them you love your sex life, but have some ideas to spice things up.
That's the answer they want you to pick.
Or 4, leave your laptop open to a sex toy website for them to, quote, accidentally see.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's actually your passive-aggressive Minnesota answer.
There it is.
That's called an argument. What did I find on your computer? No, that was for you to find. Oh, that was for me to find, I'm sure. You have a girlfriend you're buying sex toys for? Yeah, don't choose number 4, kids.
I'm just picturing being in 9th grade and your teacher's like, okay, guys, we're going to do a little test on interpersonal communication. It's important that you communicate your what you think, your feelings and thoughts. It's very important to express these things in an appropriate manner. So here, just flip through this and answer these questions. And you're just sitting there bored to death. You're like, oh, for the love of God, how do I communicate to my teacher that I can't stand the sight of her? And then you read that question, and then of course I'm just thinking I have a feeling, Steve Gorman, 9th grade, I would have been like, does everyone else have... I bet I'm the only one. I'm the only one that got this. Oh, my God, she's into me. That's where that would have gone. Miss Jones has a thing for me. Oh, my God. How do I
You
want to
be my girlfriend? There are a lot of... Yeah. I was going to say there are a lot of 14-year-olds that went to school as freshmen and then went to sleep that night as 36-year-olds.
That's right. That's baby, man. There's a whole slew of early '80s cable movies about that very thing happening. Hey, Tuesday morning shout out. Good morning to everybody out in Wayzata. Wayzata is just a gorgeous neck of the woods, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Lake Street, right there along the I don't know what the Broadway docks there or whatever by the Wayzata Beach. Just start on one end and see if you can drink your way to the other.
I met a guy once who said that was what he liked to do to get to know an area. He just would walk and take a drink at every bar along a street. He'd pick a route and just stop in at every single bar, tavern, or pub, and just to get to know the lay of the land. And I was like, I think you're just an alcoholic.
Right. It's easy to fall in love with that area.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it is.
There's other ways to get to know a spot. Finally, number one on your top 5 at 9, the movie A Complete Unknown is going to be out soon. It's the biopic about Bob Dylan, his early days. It's the story of a kid going from Minnesota to New York City to become a folk singer, and then, of course, the legend that is Bob Dylan. But this is all early days Dylan. Timothy Chalamet will be performing. He's playing the part of Bob Dylan. So in the development of the film, they've been remastering some early, never, if ever, rarely heard tracks of Bob Dylan singing some of his earliest hits, and they've cleaned him up and they've remastered him. You don't hear enough about Dylan being from the Iron Range. That's lost in the national and international view of the man, I think.
Yeah, a lot of people think he's just prickly about, I don't want to be from Minnesota. I want to be cool. So I told everybody for a long time I was from Greenwich Village or something like that. No, for his 10th high school reunion, just starting to get some fame, he returned only to have some hooplehead challenge him to a fight. Oh, you think you're a big shot, Robert Zimmerman? Yeah, tried to beat him up at his high school reunion. So he's like, F you, and split. Look it up.
Yeah, you can learn all about that and Janis Joplin's high school reunion. Two people that you look at and go, what were you thinking?
Yep.
Going back to Port Arthur, Texas to have everybody go, oh, you think you're so cool now?
Yeah.
You know how that's going to go.
Get the KQ Morning Show podcast wherever you listen. 92 KQRS.